I am Naima Latif with the Media Connection, live with on-air news, and we are in Peru, Illinois, along the route where a caravan being led by Reverend Jesse Jackson is going along the route where Jelani Day, the Illinois State University college students' remains were found. And I have with me the youth director of Rainbow Push, and he will be, of course, giving us a bit of narration regarding what we're seeing along the route. So, Cameron, I'm going to show the streets, and then you can perhaps give us a little bit of what we may be seeing here in along this route.
Stops. We're coming up to one of our first stops here. Um, and this entire thing, we're going to go along several spots that we're going to stop at before we should come to a close of this procession, if you will. Many spots in Peru we know have many different significances to this case. Many different significances being we know that Jelani's car was found in one of our first stops. We know that his wallet had been found, his lanyard had been found. We know his remains were found in the Illinois River, and we're going to get as close to that as we possibly can. Many of the spots are not accessible by foot, hence why we are doing so by way of a procession so that we can access as much as we can. And so as we get out here, we'll get some updates as to the significance of this very first stop and how this plays part in the case. As you can see here on the video, we have Miss Carmen Day, his mother, getting out of the car with Reverend Jackson, and we'll have some updates as to why we are at this first stop. Let me first turn it back over to Miss Naima as we get into this.
Yes, and as you can see, we're looking at areas where, of course, uh, it's questionable as to how parts were found.
Just a family.
And this this is what we want to alert the public to, in recognizing that this area, this wooded area here, is one that needs to have been searched. And so one of the issues that Miss Day's, Jelani Day's mother, addressed is the fact that these areas where Jelani's effects were found, these areas have not been properly searched and should have been. Of course, as you can see, the caravan of cars that are following this procession and making it possible for us to see the areas that Day has asked to be searched, and in these wooded areas, the question is, why would anything be found along this route? So we're going to hear from Jonathan Jackson.
So for your information, this is the site where the car was found. So it drove off the road and came in through this wooded trail. Go back there and you can see where the car was found. Right, so this is where Jelani Day's car was found.
This is where Jelani Day's car was found, back in this wooded area. And this is you see the secludedness of this place and the fact that these are areas, the fact this is one of the things that we are concerned about, the fact that these are areas that crimes can be committed without any. Well, this is where they say the car was found. Yes.
The car was found back there, though, right? No, they said. Oh, in here.
Yes. The car was found in this area. So Reverend Jackson, in leading this caravan to this area, we are seeing improbability of someone coming here. And someone obviously knew this area.
Up there in the house next door, the police didn't go we came that very Saturday.
All it did was knock the tree. No windows are broken or anything. Whoever brought him here, they knew of this area. You wouldn't have knew to drive and come on down that street and come in here.
I was following you.
You're right. That's the only way you was gonna be here. That's the only way any of you would have been here. We're not familiar with this. They tell me that kids walk this trail to come here, to come from school, to go to the Y. We came here last week, and there was a young man that came through the trail and walked up here, and I asked him, how do you know about this trail? He said, I've been living here all my life. That's how he knew. The Y is right up at this hill.
So this is why you wanted people to see it for themselves.
This is why I want you to see it for yourself. Because there's no way that my son would have known about this. He wouldn't have put his car here. He wouldn't have taken his license plates off. He wouldn't have got out of his car and walked 3 miles to the river and took his clothes off and jumped in the river. The river is 3 miles from here. Let's go.
Everybody, we headed this way.
So this, of course, would in fact be a crime scene that should be investigated if the proper investigation were taking place. And you've just heard from Carmen Bolden Day.
All right.
Thank you. And we just heard from Jelani Day's mother, Carmen Bolden Day, who has, in fact, made it clear that her son would not have known about this place. Her son would not have driven up this area. He would not have known. Tire marks, of course, indicating that the car was in fact driven in this area. But the question becomes how. And so we continue on for those who are determined to support the family in their quest to get answers. And this secluded area is one that students in the area are aware of. And so we're now about to go to the second site. And so all right. All right, and so we are continuing the caravan. So we're continuing with the caravan to the next site. And what, of course, is clear is that this is not an area that Jelani Day would have found himself. It's not where he parked his car, his mother, and it is very unlikely that his car got in that spot by Jelani Day. So his mother asked that there be some so cars are we got that. So that was the site
where
the car was found.
Which, as you can see, is so remote.
Yeah, it's very remote, and Carmen Bolden Day, Jelani's mother, was saying that that is not even a place that he would have been aware of. He would not have known about that place, let alone driven his car there. And now this is a residential area, so one of the things that could happen is that they could have asked residents. Apparently that has not happened. Some of these local residents that live here could perhaps have been questioned. So as Reverend Jackson leads this caravan through areas where Illinois State University folks know that this is what this caravan is about, so that those who are aware can join in their solidarity with the Day family.
Justice for Jelani!
So, Cameron, can you tell us what were your impressions when you saw that secluded area where the car was?
I would not have imagined that it was something so remote and so just desolate as that we just saw. That further brings us to the conclusion that we don't accept this coroner's report of no trauma, no foul play, this being a suicide case, this being a drowning case. The river is 3 miles from where we are. And why would Jelani drive himself? Jelani is from Danville, Illinois, had gone to undergraduate school at Alabama A&M and was only here, not even here, 60 miles from here at Illinois State for a week and a half prior to this disappearance. So nothing about Jelani's background or his biography leads us to understand that he would know anything about such a remote area. And for him to, his car rather, to be found in the area that we just left, someone knew that was an area secluded enough, dark enough, far enough for something like this to happen. As you can see, it's just as you can see here off the side of the road here, there are bushes. It's just a wooded area. No one would know exactly where to go, where they could enter into this wooded area, drive an entire vehicle free of hitting any trees or anything. There was not much damage done to the car, which means this wasn't just a random spot that they picked to go through the woods, hitting bushes and cars and such, but this was something that somebody knew where this area was. Put that car back there, whether Jelani was in it, dead or alive. We still don't know if this killing happened in Peru and it all happened here, or if Jelani was killed somewhere else and then brought to this. Myself, I can't speak for the organization. This was a plan and very well thought out strategic move. That is why Reverend Jackson Rainbow Push signed on to this call for a full investigation. It has to happen. Absolutely has to happen. And to see these answers. We demand to see these answers. Absolutely.
Yes. Well,
Keep going, Chief.
we definitely need to demand what's happening, and Ty, as what's happening, of course, what we have here, we're in Peru, Illinois, where Illinois college students of his car was found one place, wallet found someplace, a very secluded area. And as we this is area where his found is that people could have heard, could have have seen something, and why isn't someone having the police possible someone could have seen something? Why there and for or something that time. So we're driving along this street in Peru, Illinois. And
Oh.
we've got this escort, and they're blocking to allow the long hair in the long trail cars behind us